Hello, I'm Artifacts of Mars. This is Disclosure. Today we're going to look at an unusual object called the Weird Opportunity Rock. I don't know what the soul is. We're going to look at a number of little life forms that are on this. In fact, some fairly sophisticated plants. Let's get started. The red arrow is in an area of the rock or object, whichever it is, where we can see these small, tiny little seedlings growing. We'll put a little pointer on a few of them. Those are growing right out of the rock on stalks. This is no geological oddity. Don't know what they are, other than they have to be some sort of plants. My guess would be mosses. There simply is no question. If we look over here, we see the same pattern. This thing's sticking up, growing right out of the rock. This looks like maybe sandstone, possibly. These are some very hardy plants, whatever they are. Now we're going to zoom in and take another look at some other objects. Here we can see a clear pattern of a plant, probably a flower arching over like this. We have another one that points off in the same direction, and possibly a third. This plant is wide here, and then it goes down to this narrow base, and disappears probably into a crack in the rock. We see that in Earth photos. We see that quite often. So we're going to take a look next at some more plants. Take a look at these lobes here, here, here. These are like peninsular lobes that stick up. We see this pattern repeated over here where the green arrow is, and here. We see the same pattern repeated over and over again. So that's good. That shows us that we're seeing something that intentionally reproduces itself, or in other words, a plant. And we have some more here which aren't as lobey as others. We can see how we have this jagged edge that sticks up. These are more plants once again. Now we're going to take a look at one of the real winners. Right here we have a plant that's growing out of a central nexus. Right here we can see the multi-lobed leaves right here, here, here. These are compound leaves. They stick out from the central point. This one reminds me a lot of a dandelion, but of course it can't be a dandelion on Mars. So there you have it. There you have it. Just an obvious plant. No question, no arguing, no nothing. Here we might have a patch of moss. I'm really not certain. Now we're going to go down and take another look at something. Take a look at this orange object, orange pointer. If we look right here, we have a stalk sticking up in a leaf. And we can see a long shadow that's cast by the leaf, so we know this is sticking up well above the surface of the rock. A geologic oddity couldn't do that. So we're not looking at a geologic oddity, we're looking at the plant. I'm going to show one or two more things before we sign off. I have to adjust the camera angles every time. Now, to the right of this black arrow, we can see a stalk or a root which comes out of the crack in the rock, goes around, and has a plant crown right there. That is a small plant. There's no question. So once again, we're seeing another plant which NASA hasn't bothered telling the public about. I'm telling you right now. And again, up above here, we can see another plant sticking up. Pretty clear image of a stalk. And the end of it, that one's a little bit bigger than the tiny little things that we see. So that's another plant right there. This image is packed full of small plants. You simply have to know what to look for. We have the repetition of these long lobes, the peninsular lobes that I mentioned, and how we have this cutout area here. Plus we have these more jagged type plants, possibly colony plants right in here. So there's no question what we're looking at. We're looking at leaves. Some of these are probably colony plants like mosses or lichens. Lichen is a symbiosis between a fungus and a moss. On Earth they tend to be kind of yellowish in color sometimes. Well, that's about it, folks. It's time we demanded answers from NASA. Because this is inexcusable. They should have told us a long time ago that they found life on that planet. And they know they did. There is no hiding it. Myself and other researchers are looking at these photos. We're finding extraordinary things. We're not backing down, and we're not going to sit here and ignore the evidence, and we're not going to let them live it down. We're going to stay on this until they admit it. That's all I have to say for tonight. Get on your representatives, demand the answers, demand that they tell the public. I'm Artifacts of Mars, and I approve of this message.